evening, Draftaholics, and welcome to Draft Punks. I'm Sam.
And I'm Adrian, and this is your pre-release and draft guide for March of the Machine.
The multiverse lies in ruins. The branches of the Phyrexian invasion tree have breached every known world. Horror and destruction are everywhere. Heroes have fallen. Friends destroy friends. But still, hope endures. The denizens of the multiverse fight back. Welcome to March of the Machine.
The Phyrexian invasion has spread from the guild halls of Ravnica, to the skyclaves of Zendikar, to the streets of Innistrad, and beyond. No matter your place in the multiverse, you need to be prepared for battle.
Battles are a brand new double-faced card type that, in this set, all have an effect when they enter the battlefield and then give you a splashy payoff if you can defeat them. Let's take Invasion of Kamigawa as an example.
This battle enters with 4 defense counters on it, and then taps and stuns an opposing creature when it enters. Your job now is to defeat the battle to transform it.
When the battle enters, you choose an opponent to defend it. Your creatures can now attack that battle, and your opponent's creatures can block, just as if you were attacking them or one of their planeswalkers.
Dealing damage to a battle removes defense counters from it, much like removing the loyalty counters from a planeswalker. When the last counter is removed, the battle is exiled and you can cast the backside for free.
Most of the transformed battles are creatures, like with Rooftop Saboteurs here, but you'll find some that are enchantments, artifacts, or sorceries, and one is even a planeswalker.
Battles are not the only things transforming in this set. There are multiple cycles of double-faced creatures that have an activated ability that allows them to transform. Each activation cost includes an off-colored Phyrexian mana cost.
Take Skyclave Aerialist, for example. Here we have a perfectly cromulent 2-mana 2/1 flying. It has a green Phyrexian transform cost, but remember, you can just pay life for that, so you don't actually need to have green mana.
So once you hit 4 mana, you can transform the Aerialist into Skyclave Invader. You'll get a nice bit of card advantage and upgrade your creature to continue the offensive.
Incubate is a new ability that creates a double-faced token. The Incubator front side is just a blank artifact, so it's basically a strictly better Juju bubble. The Incubator comes in with some number of +1/+1 counters on it, and then you can pay 2 mana at any time to transform it into a 0/0 Phyrexian creature that still has those +1/+1 counters.
Most of the Incubator tokens are very efficiently costed, leaving you with the flexibility to decide when you want to go on the beatdown or have a surprise blocker. There are also a number of cards that allow you to transform your Incubators without even paying the mana, such as Attentive Skywarden or Sunder the Gateway.
Now, we recommend pairing your Incubate cards, such as Convertibeast, with flicker effects, such as the mighty Scroll Shift, to get maximum Phyrexian value.
When a creature with backup enters the battlefield, you could put a +1/+1 counter on itself or another creature. If it targets another creature, that creature gains all the other abilities of the backup creature until end of turn.
For example, Fearless Scald can put its counter on itself, making it a 5-mana 4/3 double strike, or you can put its +1/+1 counter somewhere else, and that creature will gain double strike until end of turn.
So get ready to blow people out with Cyber Cryptomancer, a slippery bogle with flash that is also an instant speed hexproof trick. Gross.
In March of the Machine, we see the return of fan-favourite mechanic Convoke. In past sets, Convoke has primarily been seen in green and white, but has now shifted to blue and red, and is seen on many more instants and sorceries.
Convoke allows you to tap your creatures to pay for a Convoke spell's cost. Each creature adds either 1 colorless or 1 of that creature's color. So unlike other cost-reducing effects, Convoke can actually reduce a card's cost to 0.
So beware, your tapped out opponent with untapped creatures might still be holding up Collective Nightmare, Stoke the Flames, or Cut Short.
Teferi has brought the Zalfarans back from the void to finish off the Phyrexians, and they are doing so in classic go-wide tribal fashion, with a blue twist of messing with opposing blockers.
Gold uncommon Marshal of Zhalfir is your 2-mana tribal lord that can tap down opposing blockers instead of getting risked in combat. The blue-white battle, Invasion of Xerex, bounces a creature, then transforms into Vertex Paladin that scales with the size of your board.
In your Knight-heavy deck, your Swordsworn Cavalier will be a 3/1 first strike for 2 mana, your Zhalfirin Lancer will be at least a 4/4 Vigilance for 3 mana, and your Protocol Knight will help keep your opponent's blockers locked down forever.
And make sure you pick up Knight of the Coalition. This is going to enable multiple Knight enters the battlefield triggers, all while making your go wide plan possible.
Blue-black is a spells-based archetype that is looking to fill both players' graveyards. Your graveyard becomes a fresh set of resources for cards like Halo Forager to pick from. And on the other side, once your opponent's graveyard gets to 8 or more cards, some of your spells and creatures will get a bonus.
For example, once your opponent has 8 or more cards in the grave, Expedition Lookout drops its defender status, and Tenured Oilcaster becomes a 5/4 menace for 4 mana.
Okay, we need an archetype for black-red. We did Sacrifice in Phyrexia, Brothers War, Dominaria United, New Capenna, Kamigawa. What do we got, people?
Artifact Sacrifice? Creature Sacrifice?
What about, like, anything else? Like treasures, or life loss aggro, or madness, or... That's right, Black-Red is all about sacrifice. We've got powerful, repeatable sacrifice outlets like Completed Huntmaster, Scornblade Berserker, and Aki Scrap Chomper, as well as one-time outlets like Corrupted Conviction and Final Flourish.
And we've got plenty of sacrifice fodder, including anything that produces a small incubator token, as well as Ica Drinker, Nezumi Informant, and Rouse Reinforcements.
But Sam, I got some bad news for you. There's no can-tripping 2-mana artifact in this set.
What? No Prophetic Prism?
Yeah, no.
There must be an energy refractor.
Best I can do is something that costs 1 and doesn't draw a card.
Set's unplayable. Everyone can go home now.
Red-green is the Battles Matter archetype in March of the Machine. You'll find cards that benefit from you attacking or controlling a battle, including Rampaging Geoderm, War-Trained Slasher, Trashing Frontliner, and Portent Tracker.
There are also a number of red and green damage spells that can target a battle directly, meaning you can flip it without needing to attack. So keep an eye out for cards like Invasion of Regatha, Searing Barb, Stoke the Flames, and Cosmic Hunger.
Now, there are only 5 battles that are uncommon in red-green specifically, with a couple more at rare or mythic. However, the fixing in this set is really good, so we think it's quite likely that if you want to do the Battles Matter archetype, you might want to grab some dual lands so you can splash some battles from other colors.
Green-white returns to its roots with +1/+1 counters matter, although there's sadly no Proliferate in this set to go with it. Sorry, Adrian.
Oh. But fear not, there is no shortage of ways to give out +1/+1 counters like an Arcbound Ravager at Halloween. We've got the powerful Angelic Protection, Norn's Inquisitor, Fertilid's Favor, and Invasion of Morg. These go along with any of the many backup creatures or Incubate cards.
And then we've got a number of cards that benefit from having +1/+1 counters, like the local Poisons Ward when Arcbound Ravager was actually handing out Tide Pods. So keep an eye out for Botanical Brawler, Downshifted Kaladesh Uncommon Fairgrounds Trumpeter, cards like Enduring Bond Warden, and Kami of Whispered Hopes.
For the first time ever, we finally have Phyrexian Tribal. There are a whopping 25 Phyrexians in black-white at common or uncommon, plus many more that create incubator tokens which transform into Phyrexians.
Although there are a large number of common Phyrexians, most of the payoffs for Phyrexian Tribal are uncommon but quite powerful. This likely means that you won't end up in this archetype for commons only, but if you see one of the powerful uncommon payoffs, you can move in and be pretty sure that you'll get the cards that you need.
Those enablers look like gold uncommon Sculpted Perfection, the nasty prison effect on Phyrexian Censor, and a pair of Incubate enchantments in Gift of Completion and Phyrexian Awakening.
And speaking of Incubate, that is our archetype for black-green in March of the Machine. There are 10 cards at common or uncommon in this colour pair that incubate. including Converter Beast, the powerful Merciless Repurposing, and even a modal card like Traumatic Revelation.
However, there is only one common or uncommon in black-green that directly synergizes with Incubate: Gold Uncommon Elvish Vatkeeper, which can transform and pump your Incubator tokens.
That being said, there are some more subtle synergies that can help you in this archetype, such as Blighted Burgeoning, which gives you an Incubate token and an extra mana to help you transform them. Then there are all the synergies that we have covered already: Sacrifice effects, Phyrexian Tribal, and +1/+1 counters.
And don't forget about transforming double face cards. Speaking of which...
That's right, blue-green is all about double-faced cards and transforming permanents, which includes Incubator tokens. There are 7 commons or uncommons that transform directly, along with plenty more that incubate. This might mean that you again want to keep an eye out for splash enablers to grab the double-faced cards from other colours.
So I suppose you'll be wanting some payoffs for your transforming cards. We've got you covered. Check out Mutagen Connoisseur, which shows us that when the Phyrexians arrived on Ravnica to transform every creature into a horrifying mutant monster, the Simic took a look at that and went, yeah, dope, sign me up.
We've also got Invasion of Pyrulea and Overgrown Pest to help find your double-faced cards, Oculus Whelp and Corruption of Tawashi to pay you off once you transform them, and the juicy Omen Hawker to help pay for it all.
In blue-red, you're going to be convoking left, right, and center with a laundry list of convoke spells ranging from creatures, like Thunderhead Squadron, to a whole range of instants and sorceries that can remove creatures, draw cards, or buff your creatures.
Try to pick up some random token makers along the way if you're in this archetype. Rouse Reinforcements and Preening Champion are going to act like mini rituals in the right deck, while Gold Uncommon Joyful Storm Sculptor provides both 3 bodies and an extra payoff when convoking.
Lastly, we have a red-white backup, which is convenient since red-white should always be your backup limited archetype only.
Red-white has a litany of low-to-the-ground, fast-paced creatures that only get better when you start using all your backup creatures to upgrade your cheaper threats and get that damage in.
Play a good old honest 2-drop like Alabaster Host Sanctifier, and then next turn you can draw some cards with Hanger Scrounger and then start tapping down blockers with Sigiled Sentinel.
Throw in a Mirror Shield Hoplite and you'll get double the counters and double the abilities from all your backup creatures entering the battlefield for some seriously fast and dangerous threats for your opponent to contend with.
Before we go, we thought it would be helpful for you to know how packs of March of the Machine are laid out, because it's quite different to normal and will impact what you can expect to receive at the pre-release and how drafts will unfold.
Each March of the Machine pack contains the following: 1 Multiverse Legend at Uncommon, Rare, or Mythic. These are a bit like the retro artifacts from Brothers War or the Mystical Archive from Strixhaven. A whole range of spicy legends from across Magic's history, including the original Praetor cycle, Stupid Ragavan, the Bruticlad that EDH players talk about every preview season, and all 10 of the Ikoria Companions, which are incredible fun in Limited.
There is then a dedicated battle slot in every pack at Uncommon, Rare, or Mythic, a dedicated double-face slot that could be any rarity, and a dedicated single-face slot for Uncommon and above.
And then to wrap things up, we have 2 Uncommon and 8 Common slots. So this means that, in total, you could potentially have packs that have more higher rarity cards than usual. It also means that the Battle and Double-Face card archetypes are guaranteed to have slots in every pack.
Finally, in the basic slot, 50% of the time this will be one of the 10 dual game lands. In addition to Dominaria, All-Star, Skittering Surveyor, this means that there is a lot of colors fixing for every archetype, so go nuts, splash around. As always, the Draft Punks will have our first draft video of March of the Machine out the day the set is live on Arena. So if you want to see all the nonsense that we are willing to get up to, all you have to do is remember what to call a werewolf on YouTube.
It's a like and subscribe.
There are a whopping 25 Phyrexians in black-white at Common.
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes.
Coming. Jesus. Okay, here we go.